Hello students, I am Hasina Bibi, Assistant Professor, Computer Science Department, Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. I am presenting this video to explain on topic from the 5th unit of Problem Solving and Python Programming. And we are going to see the topic Command Line Arguments. Let us see the objectives of studying this topic. To apply the command line arguments to the programs. Here we are going to study the use of command line arguments and how to apply the command line arguments into our Python program to understand different types of errors occur in the program. First, let us see about the command line arguments. Normally, the arguments are the values we will pass during the function call. The values will be passed to the function definition and it will be used with the function execution. Okay, so we can control the function execution by giving the necessary values through the function call that are called as arguments. Similarly, here we can control the program execution, we can control the entire program execution by giving some commands from the command line. Okay, so here the command line arguments are handled with the methods present in one particular module. That module is called as sys module and that method is called as sys.argb. So sys.argb is used to access the command line arguments. The sys module provides the functions and variables used to manipulate the different parts of Python runtime environment. Python runtime environment means it is the Python software tools on which we will create the Python program and the interpreter will be there. Interpreter is used to convert the Python high level language into machine language and Python program will be converted into the executable program. So from the interpreter we can control this particular module, and the Argb method is used to access the variables and functions which will directly interact with the interpreter. Actually, this sys.argb is the array which consists of the values. So we can retrieve the values by mentioning the index value of the Argb array. So normally the first element of the array is the program name. Okay, the current program name will be present as the first element in the Argb array. From the second element onwards, it will have the command line arguments. So we are going to see one example in which we are using the sys module Argb method. Initially we have to import sys. So we are importing sys module using the import statement. Then directly we are accessing the program name from the Argb. That is, we are accessing like sys.argb of 0. Argb of 0 means we can get the 0th element present in the 0th index from the Argb array. That is nothing but the program name, and we are storing the program name into the variable program underscore name. Then after that, from the first position onwards, the Argb array consists of the arguments. We are retrieving and storing it into the variable arguments. Then one more thing is, there is one method is there, len. Len method is used to get the number of characters present in the arguments. Okay, so we are applying the len of arguments. Arguments previously retrieved from the sys module, and len of arguments will retrieve the number of characters present in the arguments and it will be stored into the variable count. And finally we are printing the program name, arguments and count. So the output will be program name we are getting like command.py, and the arguments is hello world, and count is 11. That is, the number of characters present in the argument hello world is 11. In this way we can use the sys module. Okay, now we are moving to the next topic, errors and exceptions available in Python. Errors are otherwise called as bugs. Normally it is mistakes in program. Okay. So the process of finding and eliminating the errors is called as debugging. So to correct the programs initially, normally when we run our program, some different types of error may occur. First of all, we have to locate the error. We have to find where the error is. So that is called as finding the error or locating the error. After that only we can correct the error. So finding and correcting the error is called as debugging. Normally the errors can be classified into three major groups: syntax error, runtime error and logical error. Syntax error means, we all know every programming language will have its own structure. Okay, there will be some particular syntaxes for every statements, like for print operation, for the function call, while applying the loop operation, everything will have its own syntax. And there will be some keywords we will use for some general operations. For example, data type will have its own keywords. Then def will be the keyword when we will use for the function definition. So when we put any mistake, any spelling mistake or some mistakes in the common structure of the program or the general keywords in the program, now the syntax error will arrive. Okay, so this is analogous to spelling or grammar mistakes in the language like English. So the syntax errors are mistakes in the Python program syntax. Okay. And the common syntax errors include leaving out a keyword, putting a keyword in a wrong place, misspelling a keyword, incorrect intent. Indentation means leaving the necessary spaces in the Python statements. For example, after the while loop, the body of the content of the while loop should be placed after leaving only intent, isn't it? Similarly, in the function definition, the first line is the function prototype. Inside the function definition, we have to leave some indent. So when in the necessary places, we have to put the proper indentation. Okay, so incorrect intent will be the syntax error. Then unnecessary spaces. When we leave unnecessary spaces, it will show the syntax error. Then empty spaces. So these are all the root causes of syntax error. Second one is runtime error. So when we clear the syntax error only, we can execute the program. Otherwise, the program can't get compiled. Okay. So the runtime error will arise during the runtime. Okay. This is syntactically correct. If our program is syntactically correct, that is, it is free from syntax errors. But however, we can't get correct output. There may be some mistakes in the program that will lead to the runtime error. Okay. So the runtime errors include division by zero, performing an operation on different data type, then using an identifier which has not been defined. If you are using an identifier, initially we have to define this, isn't it? So unknown identifier leads to runtime error. Accessing a list element which doesn't exist. Okay, the list will have particular number of index values according to its number of elements. When we access the element with the wrong index, not available index, this will lead to the runtime error. Then trying to access a file which does not exist. If you try to access a file, actually our system is not having the file, means it will lead to the runtime error. So all these categories of errors will occur during the runtime only. We will not get the desired output. And the third type is logical error. Logical errors are, by the logical error also, the program will get execute. Okay, but when we look at the output, we will get the wrong output. They occur when the program runs without crashing, but it produces an incorrect result. Okay, the error will be present on the program logic. For example, if you are giving minus instead of plus, so if we are doing any mistakes on the formula or the logic of the program, nothing will happen initially, but when we get the result, we will get the wrong result. Okay, so the common Python logical errors include using the wrong variable name, indenting a block to the wrong level, using integer division instead of float division. Okay, getting operator precedence wrong. While we are applying the operator precedence in wrong manner, the calculations will not be performed in a correct order. So we will get the logical error. We will get the incorrect results. And in the place of division operation, when we apply the float, when we apply the integer data instead of float data, we will get the wrong result. And when we are applying the indentation in a wrong level, we will get the logical error. Okay, so also in our formulation or the logical calculations, for example, I mistakenly put B instead of A means it will produce the wrong result, isn't it? So by mistake, if we apply the different variable names or the wrong variable names, it will leads to incorrect result. So these are all called as logical errors. Now we can see the possible university questions coming in this topic. Explain the command line arguments. What are all the different types of errors that may occur in the Python program? Okay, thank you. We'll see the next topic in the next video.